From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Save more on Parker House, Ashley, and Coaster. Furniture and Mattress 86, across from the Churn Creek Post Office on Merchant Street, Reading.
Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Mike Krueger. Here is the deal. We've got dry and warm conditions here as we go into the weekend. Those chances for showers and thunderstorms we've been talking about that we've seen over the last few days, that's over with at this point. I do expect, though, above normal highs well into the weekend. And, as we go through next week, temperatures will stay above normal, but there will be at times off and on chances for some of those mountain showers and maybe even a stray thunderstorm in there as well. More on that a little bit later, but let's get you through Krueger's Quickcast here for your Thursday, April 17th. We head out the door this morning and you're going to be looking at maybe a few clouds out there, but otherwise mainly clear skies. Some fog for the valley, for the coast that is here, not the valley. Temperatures in the upper 30s for Modoc County and looks like in the low to mid 50s here for the valley. So fairly mild. We have an area of low pressure. This is what was responsible for at least giving us the moisture source for the showers and thunderstorms we saw yesterday. Area of low pressure right here. That's moving down to the south and east. This is going to be what's going to help to generate some, we'll call it gusty winds at times over the next couple of days. Some of the clouds we're seeing this morning, those are dissipating and shifting down to the south and east. We've got the fog along the coast, which is also going to be pushing southward into southern Humboldt County here throughout the day today. So more sunshine for the second half of the day, especially for places like Eureka, but sunshine through a good portion of the day north of that. Take a look at your forecast for your Thursday. I think some of us could touch that 80-degree mark, especially to the north around Reading. Otherwise, mainly mid to upper 70s for the valley, and in the 60s, even some 70s for some of the higher elevations, and looks like for the coast in those low 60s. If you're heading out to the Red Bluff Roundup, you've got some good news here. Dry conditions, maybe a bit breezy for Friday night's event here, but temperature topping out at 80 on Friday. It should be right around 80 degrees here over the weekend as well. So don't have to worry about rain. Just make sure you maybe got that sunscreen and something to drink to keep you cool. Take a look at that 7-day outlook for the valley. A little breezy today and tomorrow, but otherwise, really, we average out over the next 7 days for the valley. Temperatures just kind of hovering around that 80-degree mark, give or take. For the coast, upper 50s, low 60s, also dry. Inland, temperatures are going to be in the 70s, and that's also the case out towards Trinity County as well. So yeah, we still expect to see those dry conditions here over the next 7 days or so. All right, for Siskiyou County, Modoc County, the eastern mountains, also just kind of hovering around that upper 60s for Mount Shasta, El Turris in the mid to upper 60s, and for Susanville, even in the low 70s. As mentioned, there may be times, especially as we're going to say Tuesday, Wednesday, that we may see some of those afternoon showers begin to develop here for some of the higher elevations, but nothing intense. By the way, I want to remind you, there's a free Weather NorCal app. Just go to your app store, Google Play or the App Store on your iPhone, search for Weather NorCal and download the app for free today. A lot of great information for you. All right, so again, we've got the area of low pressure over Southern California. You can see this area of low pressure right here diving to the south. That will be the source for some of the winds that we'll see over the next few days, which we'll get into that here in just a bit. But what we're seeing here, you can see right now as we kind of go through the day today, plenty of sunshine, the fog along the coast, that will start to kind of push southward into southern Humboldt County. And then through the day on Friday, how about sunny skies even for the coast and everyone else? So an absolutely gorgeous spring day to wrap up the work week. Going into the weekend, we do have a weak disturbance that may clip Northern California. It could bring maybe a chance for a few showers, especially out towards northern portions of, say, Siskiyou County and into Modoc County. But otherwise, fairly dry conditions here for everyone else, just a couple of passing high clouds. So again, that low pressure system diving to the south, high pressure to the west. Sometimes you hear us call it a squeeze play between the two. That's what helped to generate some of those strong north winds here. Now, we'll just call it breezy because I don't expect this to be a major wind event for today or tomorrow, but the positioning of this area of high and low pressure is what's going to help to make it breezy at times over the next few days. And then you can see by Saturday, that's pretty much out of here. We take you into Sunday and really through next week as well. See what's happening. You'll notice we have a couple of showers trying to develop in the mountains here, especially as we go into, say, Wednesday, Thursday of next week. Again, that's just a little bit of instability that could create a few showers. So toward the end of next week, we may be talking about a chance for some showers entering the picture here, even for parts of the valley. When I say the end of next week, probably into that next weekend, as what the latest forecast models are indicating now. But here you can see through the afternoon, we are seeing, especially in the north and west side of the valley, some of the stronger winds coming in from the north. North breezes up to the east and a little breezy out along the coast as well. So as you can see, this is nothing major, nothing unusual. We may exceed that 20-mile-an-hour range here, so a little gusty at times here for parts of the valley here. And then you can see Friday afternoon, the winds start to subside, and then I do expect on Saturday, the winds shouldn't be as much of an issue here. So weaker winds, calmer winds by the weekend. There's the warmer than normal conditions. This is something I've been kind of talking about over the last several days and was hesitant to show this map because it was showing us in the near normal and cooler than normal, but we're actually going to stay above normal here for the next 10 days plus, and you can clearly see that here in the 10-day trend. Here you can see 72 is a normal high. Now, as we get toward the end of next week, we may see a dip in our temperatures here. And as I mentioned, sometime around Friday, Saturday of that next week, we may see the potential for some showers, including the valley. But when we look at the precipitation outlook, we're just kind of in that near normal to even drier than normal category. So anything we do see most likely won't be anything all that significant. Lake levels, the only one that's dropped now over the last 24 hours is Trinity Lake, but we're still seeing that slight increase for Shasta Lake and of course Lake Oroville as well. Hey, by the way, I want to remind you, taking a look at the drought monitor, it's mainly over the desert southwest. Northern California looking pretty good, but once again, dry and windy conditions over the desert southwest and even into northwest Texas are under a red flag warning today. And so the high fire danger, something to remind you about when it comes to fires is keeping that brush away, making sure you've got the defensible space. And if you can't do it yourself, make sure you have someone do it for you. And if you don't have a friend or a neighbor that can do it for you, you may have to think about hiring someone to do it for you, because it's not just about your safety, but it's also about your neighbor's safety as well. Taking a look at the wave heights as we go through the day today, they are starting to subside. They'll subside even more, taking you into your Friday as well. So your marine forecast, there you can see, of course, we're looking at wind's not that bad. No advisories. There's your wave heights, and they also see the high and low tide here for today. All right, so Trinity County, there's your neighborhood forecast for today. Temperatures mainly in the 70s for those daytime highs. Absolutely gorgeous day. No chances for showers, no thunderstorms in the forecast for anyone. Temperatures for the north coast in the 60s and 70s. Of course, 70s for the inland areas, and for the coast, you're looking at temperatures mainly in the 60s. Although Smith River about 72, 62 degrees for McKinleyville, and 75 degrees in Orleans. How about your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast? Mainly in the 60s. Happy Camp, one of the warmer spots at 76, although Dunsmuir 70, 67 degrees for Mount Shasta City. And for Modoc County, how about those mid to upper 50s, even around 60. Tule Lake about 62, 60 for Alturas, and Aden about 59 degrees. And your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast, those temperatures mainly in the 60s, 67 degrees for Paradise, Westwood about 59, and there you can see Susanville about 65 degrees. Your Valley neighborhood forecast to the south, temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, 76 degrees for Orland, 77 degrees for Corning, and Gridley about 74 degrees. There's your Chico 7-day forecast. We're looking at temperatures upper 70s through Saturday, back in the 80s by Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. All right, let's take you up to the north with 79 degrees for Anderson, 78 degrees for the city of Shasta Lake, and 74 degrees in Whiskeytown. All right, here is a look at your 7-day forecast for Redding. Breezy conditions for Thursday, Friday. Temperatures around 80, really just averaging out around 80 here for the next 7 days. We got a happy dancing Easter bunny on Sunday, because look at that beautiful weather for your Easter Sunday. That's your morning update. I'll be back again at noon for your latest forecast. Until then, have a great morning.
Save more on our huge selection of Nectar, Dream Cloud, Sierra Sleep, and Diamond Mattress. Furniture and Mattress 86, across from the Churn Creek Post Office on Merchant Street, Reading.